Hey, good Saturday afternoon, everybody. I'm KSHO11 meteorologist Tim Pandages. We're recording this around 3:30 in the afternoon. I want to give you an update. There is now a severe thunderstorm watch up for our far northern cities and counties right through 10 o'clock tonight. I do, however, expect this to likely be expanded a little bit farther south, perhaps as far south as the I-10 corridor. You notice it stretches all the way to the north, up to Dallas, and all the way up 59, 69, almost to Shreveport. So keep that in mind. The severe threat is off to the north earlier and then will drive its way southwards as we approach sunset in the first half of the overnight. Out there right now, there are a few storms, non-severe, developing at the moment in northwestern portions of Harris County, out by Fairbanks, in between, pretty much bookending 290 off to the north and off to the south north of I-10 there. Again, no lightning or thunder there, but some heavier downpours, and we'll see how these kind of evolve over the next half an hour to an hour. Check out visible satellite imagery, though. There's a lot going on. We've got an active Q field developing over southeast Texas, and those will likely develop into at least a few thunderstorms as we go through the next few hours. But really take note of the feature off to the north. Those are collapsing thunderstorms, the outflow boundary from those racing southwards, and that will be what helps to initiate more widespread, stronger to potentially severe storms as we go through later today. Storm fuel. We've already got the spin in the atmosphere with winds aloft coming out of the west and winds at the surface coming in out of the south, and that's already adding that pivot in the atmosphere for any storms that do develop. It'll help them start to spin, and storm fuel really start to drop off after the sun goes down, which is why this next point I want to make with you is the difference in our computer models and the arrival of the storms. We'll start things off here with our short range. It's called the HRRR model. Here we are at 7 o'clock. Still storm free. Is this right? We'll see. As we go towards 9 o'clock, here's the leading edge of that stronger storm line off to the north of Huntsville. Sun is down at this point. Keep that in mind too. Then as it drives south, it starts to weaken a little bit and become more fragmented. Still the potential of some rotating supercells well off to the north and east of downtown, and those shoot on through Liberty County and steer clear of Houston. We're losing the daytime heating. We're losing that storm fuel. Here we are in the middle of the night. Likely still some showers and downpours around. However, on the contrary, we look at another model. This is the graph model here, and this shows an arrival time earlier, meaning these storms can take advantage of the storm fuel present at this time. 7 o'clock, there's our line of storms already into the Huntsville area. By 9 o'clock, that's moving on into northern Harris County, moving into downtown Houston and points east and northeast of there. And then notice there are a few more cells that develop here up to around 11 o'clock before things start to quiet down there. So the graph model, a little bit earlier, more intense line of storms. The HRRR is a little bit later. Still likely some intense storms, but becoming fragmented and more likely off to the east and northeast of downtown. Now, let's check things out for the severe threats for tonight. Still damaging winds. There's the outlier potential of 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts in some of these stronger cells. So that'll be the big problem. Bring in any loose items out in your yard that can become airborne. Bring them indoors. Certainly that's a good idea. Large hail is also a potential here. We're talking diameter of an inch or greater. That would be damaging hail. Tornadoes is a non-zero threat, so keep that in mind too. It is our lowest threat, but it is still a possibility. And with some of these slower moving cells, with the amount of moisture in the atmosphere and the amount of rain that will come with them, 1, 2, 3 inch an hour rainfall rates, certainly some street flooding potentially if these storms hit those vulnerable areas. We've been cooking out there so far today. Temperatures are well up into the 90s. Factor in the dew points. That's some of that storm fuel, and this is what it feels like. Feels like 107 degrees out at Katy within the hour. So we're going to watch this situation as it evolves through the rest of the afternoon. We'll see you again on the digital side around 6 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, it'll be myself and meteorologist Kim Castro with an update on the storms that will likely be moving through at that time.